Hey, this is Matt from InvestiQuant. Today is Tuesday, July 21st, 2020. And yesterday we saw a large move higher in the markets. ES pushing up out of some recent consolidation and closing at a 50-day high close. And it's also being followed up by some higher prices in the overnight session. So what I want to do this morning is take a look at what has happened historically when you get a strong move higher, followed by another gap above that high. So I'm going to set this up in all four instruments. We're going to look at ES, NASDAQ, YM, and Russell. The setup's going to be entering at the open 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time as a long and exiting at the close 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. The opening filter I'm going to use to define this setup is simply opening above the prior day high. You can obviously dig into this gap size a little bit more if you choose to, but for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to use opening above the prior day high. And then yesterday's price action that I want to add to this study is we closed at a 50-day high close, so a significant high closing price, and we also closed up near the highs of the session. I'm going to use, I'm going to use close in the top 25% of the daily range for this study, just because you'll get a little bit more samples if you're using that as opposed to going with the top 10% of the daily range, which is true for today. So if you want to dig into this a little bit more, that's something that you could dig into right there using the close in the top 10% of the daily range. And then lastly, I'm going to go into indicators and click above a 200-day moving average, just so we're getting this bullish price action in a bullish environment. All right, let's click view results and take a look. And here we go. So historically, we have 142 samples in the ES where it is gapping up above the prior day high when the prior day closed at a 50-day high close and in the top quartile of its daily range and above the 200-day moving average. So bullish price action followed up by a bullish overnight session. That's happened 142 times in the ES, 169 in the NASDAQ, 130 in the YM, and 94 in the Russell. And looking at the win rates, ES looks like it's the lightest win rate of the group, coming in at 45%. So not super weak, but certainly not strong. NASDAQ coming in at 50% exactly, 50.2. YM just under 47%. Russell just under 47% as well. So looking at win rates as a whole, none of these have a strong win rate. They are a little bit weak or neutral on the win rates. And let's take a look at these average win to average loss size as well. So the average win on the ES coming in here smaller than the average loss on these. So not only is this one losing a little bit more frequently, it's losing larger than what it makes on average. Same deal with the NASDAQ. The average win is quite a bit smaller than the average loss. In the YM, that is not the case. The average win's a little bit bigger than the average loss, and in the Russell, the average loss is a little bit bigger than the average win. So historically, this has not been a bullish pattern following that close in the top 25% of the daily range and at a 50-day high close when you get a gap up above the prior day that high the following session. So this has not been bullish. Some of these aren't all that weak as far as win rates go, but they have leaned a little bit weaker the following day. So hopefully you found that interesting. Good luck today, and we will see you next time.